What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? Welcome to Gamerload. And with me is our Leon Gunstill and Mitch. We're going to be talking about a lot of subjects in gaming news that have been popping up that I randomly pick out myself. And also, if they want to bring in their input about it, I let them talk about it. So, anyways, today's topic I'm going to go ahead and bring up is about Quantum Break, which you may recall that there's been a lot of controversy with Quantum Break, and I heard this from Carl. He explained to me what happened. That they've been trying to do some product placement in the game. You may have heard about
Really?
it. Yeah.
I
Uh,
know the pirate thing.
yeah, you heard about the pirate thing, but in the game, it turns out they had a sort of a controversy with the whatchamacallit, the game itself, where they tried to market Nissan. They had like Nissan cars. They had like Windows phones in there. Because according to Carl, he explained to me that the game had a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of product placement in that game. So, what are your thoughts on this?
It's
That's
just
pretty
product
fucked up.
placement. I don't give a shit. As long as it's not affecting the overall gameplay, I
It,
don't give a shit.
well, it did.
Let me put it like this, though, JT. Did it really affect the gameplay
Well,
itself?
it did affect the gameplay because, according to some people, there is a lot of problems with the game. The frame rate, there, according to them, the PC version isn't running at 60 frames, and it doesn't have a quit button.
Now, when you say product placement, like what do you mean by that? Do you mean like
As in,
He basically means
they tried to put in Nissan cars into the game. They put Windows. They put a Windows
that
phone
one,
in the
JT. I'm
game.
going to tell you something.
Hmm.
I'm going to say something.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Overall game in the end, all it does is just adds. Let me tell you something. From modding, as long as I had, we
Yeah,
could change the textures to whatever we want as modders. We
yeah.
could. It's nothing that bad.
Well,
That's all it does is just changing the texture and stuff.
here's
It
the
doesn't
problem.
affect it unless it's like
Here's the problem. The
same
PC
with Nissan.
version is crippled
Yes, they
by
haven't.
multiple issues according to Digital Foundry. The game can't run constant smooth frame rate among other things. And this is according to Digital Foundry. The lowest setting you can get is at 720p. It's the lowest setting you can get out of an
you're
Nvidia Titan
lagging,
X.
dude?
Take your audio is shit.
I know, but bear
You're
with
lagging,
me.
Your audio is
JT.
bad.
Hold on.
Your audio is really bad right now, man.
It's fine, man. I'm not worried about it. I'm still talking through the. I'm recording this.
Your internet's shitting itself.
I know. Let me lower the setting on this thing. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. The fact that the game itself is having technical issues on the PC version, the Xbox version. Well, from what I heard from Carl, there is a lot of rendering issues. So, what are your thoughts on
I
this?
just I don't give a care about the thing what that basically says when you look at the whole basically product placement thing. All it is they're placing random items. They change some of the models of the vehicles to look like Nissans. That's all they're doing. But what causes a game to be truly unoptimized is the fact that the problem is if that's the case, they must have added it last second without tweaking the engine to handle it.
Yeah, they're
That's how
trying,
they did. They didn't tweak the game
they're
engine.
trying to make this game really good. But the fact is, there's a lot of reviews saying that they gave it a 6. Um, Considering that there is some issues with Quantum Break in the PC version, a lot of people right now are doing Alt F4 on that game right now.
I don't even know what to say about that. It's just
Well,
I don't mind. I don't mind product placement if it's like you're driving the car and it just has the name of the brand of the car, right?
yeah,
What I mind is when people like like developers put like fucking product placement all over the place. You
they
know what I mean?
did. They
Yes.
did in every episode of the game because according to Carl, he mentioned in his, and this was his review of it when I tried to record it and it got corrupted. It was the issue that he had with it was that they were showing off the Windows Phone, the Lumpia, whatever it's called, the Lumbia, the
The
Windows Lumbia,
Lunia.
yeah, the Lunia phone. And he told me that phone was very shitty. Isn't it? Is that true?
It is. My friend had one.
Yeah,
It's shit.
yeah, and yet they're trying. They
I've
were
used it. Horrible.
constantly using it in the game to hack into things.
Nothing can handle hack.
That's
Windows
fucking.
phones are not just able to handle hacking.
That like a Microsoft phone. Like I use my friend's phone, and literally they had fucking Instagram in beta. You couldn't even see some of the fucking pictures on that fucking shit.
Yeah, and
It's so bad. Like Microsoft was so behind.
Yeah,
yeah,
well, it's product placement, stupid product placement, but I don't know what to say about that. It's just,
and this was.
it's just
I feel bad that Carl wasn't here to explain it due to the fact that connection issues were bad. And Carl, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry. I'm doing this by your word, and I take your word with everything that you said, and I respect you on this.
okay. But yeah, just this whole stupid shitstorm though about them putting product placement. If yes, the fact that they use real world products that couldn't handle hacking whatsoever, just like that phone that you're talking about.
Yeah, because from what I heard, that phone isn't that good, and they've been trying so hard in that
But I
game
could
for
tell
every
you one
episode.
game though that has good product placement. I can
But
tell you right now what it is,
what
JT.
is it?
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Yeah, I kind of agree.
I like Gran Turismo.
Yes, those racing games. They have good product placement because they're cars. They showed the type of cars, and yes, that's all it is. It's just about cars.
Well, I'm not too bad. I'm not too surprised by this, but it's like, especially there's also other issues with the game. Like I saw some news about the Quantum Break issues, like the piracy issue, about the eye patch of the character known as Jack in the game.
I'm going to say one thing how you can get that. Don't log into your Microsoft account when you start the game. That's
Yeah,
how you get it.
yeah, and it probably doesn't work with PC or Xbox, right?
Yeah, it's stupid that they have it. You have to log into your account anymore to play a game. So you
It
know what? I
also
would do
happened
that
to
just
Alan
to,
Wake
I
as
would do
well.
it just to make my character look like a badass. Have the Pirate Bay logo on my head. You know what? That's not a punishment. That's reward.
Oh, man.
That's an extra.
Congratulations, you
People aren't going to
pirate of
mod
the
it out.
game.
They're going to mod it. No, JT, they're not going to mod out. They're going to mod it in.
Okay, it's
Dude,
just it's just ridiculous how they did this because they were like, congratulations, you're now an official Microsoft pirate. Here's your eye patch. Arr. And it's like they put that in the game. Yeah, I don't even think that's a
Okay,
punishment.
if Phil
It's more like a
Spencer came
reward.
up with that idea. No, you know what a real punishment is? It's like
If you get arrested.
you know how you can punish somebody is by making the game making it almost impossible to succeed in the game, like past a certain level, like there being like a permanent like wall or something like that.
Nintendo already did that with one
No,
game.
I've been hearing game devs talk about this in the past, but I'm not sure if they'll ever do it. But
Punishment versus
one of them
reward.
are saying, no, let me continue now. One of them was saying they were thinking of putting a paywall, literal paywall, as like a part, instead of like Far Cry 4, for instance, where pirators didn't have depth of field. That's what they did in Far Cry 4. But this game, they could. Someone's been talking about thinking of doing something like an actual wall where you can't progress through the game, just being like a giant. If you enjoy this game, go ahead and buy it at Steam. They should do that as like punishing them further. It would be the ultimate middle finger to them.
Well, I kind of agree with you there. It's just the thing is that a lot of people are going to pirate no matter what, and it's not going to stop people. I know, but the thing is, it always happens, and if this is like the chance for because Microsoft has had problems in the past with their old software with Windows, because God knows that's been pirated so many freaking times, like Windows.
God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. They've actually accused me of pirate, even though I legally paid for software in the past. They've had it say you are counterfeited Windows. This is counterfeit. I'm like, no, it's not, you freaking assholes. I had to finally call up Microsoft and says, no, but you're running counter. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I sent them a picture of the box from Windows saying, and then we're like, oh, it's not counterfeit. I'm like, no, it's not, you assholes. That's an actual CD key. I didn't steal that from anybody. They were like, oh, and I even sent the receipt to them, like, that's not a counterfeit console, you dumb shits.
I know, and but you know what? I actually told Nintendo one time when I called them up about the issue with my console. I told them, hey, I just bought this used console, and they understood. Because they said, where did you get the console? I bought it off of a pawn shop where I used to live.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they told me the factory reset thing. I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate your input on it. Because I bought this console and I was like, oh, damn it. But the thing is, this is kind of hilarious that they did this, that Microsoft had to do this, even if you try to play offline mode for this game. And it's kind of funny.
No, this is something we would mod in. Modders like myself would just put this in, like, it doesn't take much work to put an eye patch over someome's face.
I know.
It doesn't take almost any work whatsoever.
And they did this to Alan Wake as well.
Take the texture file. There's these texture files, so you can get the texture files.
Yeah.
Take the texture files, open up Microsoft Paint or Photoshop, whatever you have. Grab the photo itself and just get a picture of a Pirate Bay and an eye patch or something like that, and put it over the head. I'm going to call upon the Fallout modders to do that. do that for Fallout 4.
That's
because
a good idea.
To see that. Or Skyrim, for that matter.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end this with... Mitch, what are your thoughts on this?
I think the developers are just being a bit lazy.
Yeah, because they put this on Alan Wake as well. Did you hear?
No.
Yeah, because they put it on an old game because you could put the eye patch on, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. Great idea, Microsoft. That's just going to make everybody want to have an eye patch on the game. So,
yes, it's a smart idea. Like how I said, people are just going to not log in anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to get that because Quantum Break isn't a hacking game, basically.
It's not a hacking game. It's basically Back to the Future type of game. It's like it's one of those little time machine type of games.
Oh, but still, you're a time.
Looks like a pretty cool game.
Let's put it like this: you're a time pirate. True. That's what I want to be now. I want to be a time pirate.
Yes,
get all that
Jack
booty.
is the official time pirate of Microsoft. Yes,
as the time pirate. That's what it's about.
It's all about he's trying to get the booty from the time machine.
Yes. Thank you for creating the time pirates.
Yes, you created a time pirate.
Ultimate time pirates, because you know
now
what?
I wonder if Doctor Who. Now I wonder.
I want to live my dream of being a time pirate. Thank you so much.
But the question is, Leon, are you gonna get Tracer?
Tracer?
Yes. For the next topic that I'm going to bring up about this whole thing, I'm going to bring up about Tracer, which a lot of people are talking about that Blizzard tried to troll people with this whole controversy. As you can see, the victory pose. with the leg up
Could
on
be
it.
that one, but it could also be like what Tara said last time. Remember what she
Well,
said?
well, the funny thing was, I think they wanted to get rid of the old pose because the old pose didn't look good. To be
No,
honest,
to be honest, yeah, it didn't look good at all. But you know what? That was like the ultimate troll Blizzard could have ever done. It was like the biggest middle finger to these SJWs. Anyone, because God knows that the SJWs have given Blizzard so much trouble over the past year or the past 2 years, ever since like the game, like even before the Game Area controversy, like Polygon did this like railroad interview with Blizzard about like adding sexualized stuff to World of Warcraft.
that's been done. That actually,
No,
that's
but they bitched about it. They just bitched about it. Just
Kotaku
like,
did the same
oh,
deal with.
yeah, they all did. They all did the same thing, and they were all doing that. And people
They were trying to
and
muscle
Blizzard
it
was
in.
like, yeah, Blizzard like said, "Get out." Like that. I have respect for Blizzard for doing stuff like that because
It's because they became so ingrained with this idea that they should change video game industry by being the moral police on everything.
Blizzard told me to get the hell out too. So, you know what? I have respect for
I
Blizzard
know.
for telling these snowflakes to take a hike, and that's what Blizzard's known for. So I was surprised that I knew they weren't going to take this, and I agree with Tara on one thing here. It probably wasn't. It probably wasn't his original idea. He probably wanted. He probably wanted that thing censored. He probably just wanted to cave to them, and they told him, "Shut up now. We have to fix this," sort of thing. It's like, thanks a lot. We now have to fix the problem you started. That's what it sounds like with them.
It was fucking hilarious. Like the
Yes.
amount of people that got
Like,
triggered.
you know what? I hope it was a woman that fixed Tracer's pose.
That would be hilarious. The feminists would go mental.
Mm-hmm. If it was a woman,
They would be crying their tears into a bucket.
Well, they already changed the pose and everything, and it's kind of funny how they handled the situation pretty well because I think they were trying to appease people. Like, look, guys, I'm sorry, but we decided to change the pose because we didn't like the old pose. Because I looked at that the old pose was kind of like it's really flat and it didn't really have a really good size body tone to it because you could just tell by the leg, by the stance and everything, it didn't look realistic enough. And I looked at it and I was like, this is terrible. This is who was the designer of who designed this? And I just realized this game, the game's probably
I don't think it looked terrible. I think it just looked normal, and so people are kind of like meh.
meh. Yeah, I guess so. But the thing was,
I think it wasn't sexual enough.
it wasn't really. It just looked at kind of.
and they wanted to make it quirky sexual, which is like what you would see from Tracer.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
And I think that's the thing they're trying to fix. It's like that's Tracer. She's quirky, and you don't want to see sexual. Guess what? We're gonna make it quirky sexual. So she said, and he said like for my daughter and stuff. She looks up. No, she doesn't.
Yeah,
just
I know.
So much. You freaking coward.
It was kind of funny how they decided. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go with the 1940s pinup versus the behind the over the shoulder type of pose that they did because they wanted to remove this pose, and I think that's why the designer felt like, you know what, this is not really good. I don't like it.
So they amplified it and pissed him off even further.
Yeah.
Brianna Wu bitching even more about it.
Yeah,
It's
Brianna Wu, you got to realize her design was kind of like a PS1 model of her characters. This one is more Unreal Engine, and she's trying to research the pose of the body and everything. And looking at it, going like, Oh, this is the design that they did.
And you know what's so funny? People already said about Brianna Wu that that game is an insult to women, female devs everywhere. It's like her game. It was so funny. They were saying this is an insult to female
It's
devs.
an insult to developers in general.
No, just women developers
No,
as
it's an
well.
insult to developers in
No,
general.
I mean I'm saying women developers as well. I mean that they try to
And
say it's an inclusive thing for men and women, and then they're like they're like, this is an insult. These brat dolls were.
Yeah,
I like that show, The Brat.
she should do the animation for the Brats if she ever gets a
Hey,
job.
I like the Brats.
Yeah.
I would not like her to do the animation. She'd ruin everything.
I agree with you. But anyways, what are your final thoughts on this?
Let me just put it like this: Tracer. I don't give a care what Tracer looks like. I don't give a shit whatsoever. They want Tracer to look sexual, so be it. They don't, then they don't. It's not something they should always. It's not something they should always like try to force onto everybody else.
That's
They
fair
shouldn't
enough.
force us all to. They shouldn't force us to uh, like this one thing because or give me a second here. They shouldn't force. They shouldn't force us onto us just because of like the terms of inclusion. I'm tired of that bullshit being thrown around. It's like
It's
they're
PR,
body
dude.
shaming.
It
No,
is a
no, but I'm just saying that like these fat neon heads are body shaming women all the time. So you know what I got to say? Since they want to body shame women, I'm going to body
it's
shame
sort
them.
of that way.
They're scumbags. They don't deserve to be treated like
But
that.
PR, you have to realize what PR
They
does.
body shame
They
thin people, dude.
they try to convince. You have to realize something. PR is trying to convince people of what their direction is to either lie or tell the truth. And the problem is sometimes they have to lie about it in order to convince people that this is the right thing that they're doing.
No, but all of us, everybody was saying no. This is wrong. Social justice pandering is wrong. We all said it, and the team tried to make it an excuse, and I think they dropped him. They fired that guy's ass.
I understand.
My understanding from it is they were gonna change the pose anyway,
Yeah,
so
because they didn't like the design
Yeah.
of it. So I kind of see why they did this, but at the same time, by doing that, it caused a lot of controversy on the situation.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, and a lot of people were making fun of it, even making memes of it.
Yeah, and like Tracer's ass was flat, like that type of stuff.
I made fun of the Tracer asses flat thing when I made that video, and it was just kind of hilarious. But when I brought this up, I wanted to point out the issue with the design because you look at it, you can see why Blizzard did that, and it was an irony there that they looked at this and was like, you know what? Yeah, let's remove it. I agree with this guy 100%. He's right. We should redesign the ass.
And then they get so much louder, and they scream, and they kick up, and they start stomping their feet into the ground, causing a massive earthquake in California. Temper tantrum on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what? I'm not treating these people like people anymore. They've lost all rights to be treated like human.
Okay.
They're normal people.
That's-
They've done so much shit to us. They've done so much shit to everybody.
They really damaged the gaming community and divided it. It's sad that
Yeah,
they.
so
I just want them to understand that they should never have done this because the way they handled it, trying to lie to people and tell people that this is the right thing to do, it isn't. We
no,
honestly,
it's not. And they pissed us off. They pissed everybody that enjoyed this hobby off. This is a hobby of ours. This was our hobby. This is something we enjoyed in our spare time. And then these nobodies come in from outside that come in and tell us like how we should live our hobby or how we should play our games and stuff. And it's just the point where it's like, you know what? Go back to just stop dyeing your hair neon colors and just get lost. We're all sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of these pieces of shit doing this. I'm sick and tired of the big blue horror is how Nurgle calls her, Randy Harper. I'm tired of Andy Smith. I'm tired of Brianna Wu. I'm tired of these animals and the bullshit they run out of their mouth.
I know, and the PR angle that they're doing is wrong, and they should just be honest and admit that they were wrong, and
They
move on.
won't.
They won't
They won't be
because
honest because they're disgusting human beings.
They're not gonna profit off honesty, my friend.
I know they're wasting a lot of money off of this, and
And
they
and you
should
know what?
just.
Let's just continue this up.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, which is Final Fantasy Remake, which you heard the news about, and they just premiered a trailer of it. By the looks of the trailer, it looks really nice. Barrett looks like he's.
I'm concerned about the episodic thing that they're doing, like the several big game thing that they're doing.
Well,
That's my
well, the funny thing is, I am concerned about it too because I wonder how they're going to do this because there's no news as of yet of what they're planning to do with this game, other than the fact that they said that this will have like almost 30 hours of gameplay, and by the looks of it, I think they're doing like I wonder if they're going to do it like 3 disc episode or is it going to be like a full version of it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm unsure about Final Fantasy VII. I want to see them make the game good, but this is Square Enix we're talking about. They've done so many shitty things that.
Yeah, but this is their only hope too. You have to realize this is Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I talked to Carl about this, and he mentioned that they had a lot of financial problems, especially when they tried to release the Final Fantasy. I think it was 13 or Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy I think it was 14 and 15. They had issues trying to sell those games, and then they had to redo the online version of it and called it something else, which I forgot. As I recall, they did try to do this. Mitch, are you saying anything?
Square Enix. What can you say?
I know. It's boring the fuck out of us trying to talk about.
I'm done with that. All I gotta say is, if the game is good, I'll buy it. But if it's not, I'm not.
Well, they're planning to make this into PC. I'm assuming too, because this is what they said they were announcing on PC, and they're announcing at E3 as well the news about this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on it?
Nothing really.
Nothing really.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
And you feel fine?
I think that maybe they'll be able to pull it off. Maybe they won't. It's Square Enix.
Well, you have to realize they spent probably millions and millions of dollars with their online to China because they wanted people to buy into the hype of Final Fantasy. But the funny thing is they spent money retranslating it and renaming Chocobo to calling it something else.
It's a big chicken.
Yeah, it's a big chicken and a chicken bird. I believe that they called it in China. And I was like, you guys are wasting so much money on this game. And of course, they had to redo the game and called it Realms Reborn. Final Fantasy 15, Realms Reborn. Actually, no, it wasn't Final Fantasy. I think it was Final Fantasy 14. Let me see. I could be wrong. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for missing. Let me check. FF14. Or was it FF13? If it was FF14, and of course they had to call it Realms Reborn because they had to rebrand their online game, and it did gain some popularity, considering that they decided to, because a lot of people felt that the online gameplay wasn't that good when they did Final Fantasy 15.
I'm not even sure anymore. Final Fantasy.
Well, it failed, from what I understand. So, what are you? Have you played Final Fantasy 15? Or was
No, I played the demo. Yes, it was a good game, but the boss fight needs a lot of work.
Yeah, and I heard the first this episode 1 Disgaea one had frame rate issues.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I am very optimistic about the game, but it's still concerning.
well, considering that when I was talking to Carl about this, we made a joke about the Backstreet Boys playing in that group in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had like the pretty boys in there, and it's like, are they going to be a pop group singing together in a car, doing the? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
You don't know. And would you buy this game?
Me, I'm unsure yet. I'm gonna give it time before I buy it, say I would or not.
Because this new Final Fantasy is very, very interesting, and
I will buy. I might buy it, but I'm not sure just yet. I'm gonna wait until more information about it comes out.
Would you play? Would you play Heavenly Sword?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. It's on PC.
I'm just not sure about stuff right now.
It's fine, man. I understand. The thing is that I want Square Enix to succeed because they are one of the many good companies that try their best to make sure that this game is good. It's a shame that they're having a hard time selling their products, which is Final Fantasy. But right now, the only thing that's keeping them afloat is Final Fantasy Reborn.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not that bad.
I don't have much more to say about Final Fantasy.
Okay, that's fine. Mitch,
there's not much to say about it.
Mitch, what are your thoughts about it? Mitch?
I think I heard someone leave.
All right, I guess I can't blame Mitch. I think he's bored as heck. I can't blame him.
We kept talking about, yeah.
Well, all right, let's go ahead and I think Mitch is kind of... Yeah, he got disconnected. I can't blame him. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this topic with a new topic. You might have heard about this from Michael. He was talking about this a while back, and it was the Phantasy Star Online 2 Yamato controversy. But I did find out they released a rail shooter back in 1983 on Sega, and it was called Yamato. But here's the issue with it. It turns out it featured a lot of Japanese users are upset with this game, but they also didn't know that they are also planning to make a Yamamoto spaceship Yamamoto anime out of this. And and for some odd reason, Sega decided to release an update patch featuring a Yamamoto as a boss for a main boss, a raid boss for Yamamoto, which started a controversy. And you have to realize this is a very, very popular ship among Japanese in history. Even the U.S. Navy respects this ship.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it's a very The Yamamoto took the U.S. like a lot of. Yamamoto was one of the hardest ships the U.S. ever had to sink. It was so powerful.
Yeah, and it was one of the biggest ships as well. And the strange part is that a lot of Japanese are upset that this boat became a raid boss.
Really,
Yes,
a raid boss,
yes,
not an actual boss. I mean,
a raid boss in
Japan was
fantasy.
called Yamato before. That's what the ship was called, is Yamato.
Yeah, it was built on
And
Yamato.
that's what's called Yamamoto. It's Yamato, and
Yamato.
that's what ancient. And the worst part is it's not just the ship. That's what ancient Japan used to be called.
Yeah, the Yamato was very.
Yamato. That's what it used to be called, was Yamato.
I apologize for the mispronunciation of it.
I
Um,
think it was called Yamato. I could be wrong. I think it was called.
Yamato. That's fine. I'll take your word for it.
I
The
know it's something to do
the
with ancient Japan.
Yamamoto. That's what they pronounce it as, from what I understand. But when I look at this controversy, I can understand why the Japanese are upset because Sega's using a boat that was very ingrained in their culture and history,
Hmm.
and I can understand that a lot of the Japanese are upset about this issue, and it's but from what Sega did wrong right here was they were planning to put this out in the U.S. Am I correct? They were planning to, but it was released back in 2012. They said they were going to plan on releasing this internationally, but it never happened. And I
Oh,
found out the reason why. According to Michael from Ship to Block 20, which I talked to a lot, he pointed out the issue was is that they they have a lot of young girls that are like the average height of a 13-year-old that have like bigger boobs, and the problem with the characters is that if they would have to edit the characters and redesign them, and thus that would cost them a lot of money. And Sega doesn't really have the finances to handle that situation well, to redesign the whole game to fit the American and
yeah.
European
Well,
market.
I don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. It doesn't bother me in the first
I
place.
know, but it is available for people to play in translation because they actually have a patch for it, and and a lot of people are resorting to it because they really want to play this game. It is a lot of Americans that used to play the old Sega Dreamcast version of this love it. Even I remember even on Xbox, even on GameCube, people play this game, and it's a shame that a lot of I don't know who in their right mind decided to put Yamamoto and put this out to the Japanese as a great idea as a raid boss.
Dumb people.
Yeah, it seems whoever did this wanted to really kill Sega
Yeah.
because
It's like,
because Sega really pissed off some people, and
Sega's been pissing off people.
and
It's mostly
they
the
made
Japanese.
and they made some worse decisions, especially they. But I haven't really heard any news about. They just released the Yakuza game, and they didn't bother to talk about it either. Either way, it's just been released on the PS4, and they never talk about it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Nothing much. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
It's just Sega being idiots again. Nothing
yeah.
new.
Because right now I'm just a little bit surprised about this because this game this Fantasy Star 2 happens to be a very popular game among Japanese. It's a shame that they haven't released it internationally. They only released it in Asian countries, and they haven't yet put it in Europe. And I was like, I really want to see this game out there, but the problem is, I can see why Sega doesn't want to, release it in the U.S. because they're worried that, well, the social justice issue in the game.
they're not gonna. We don't give a shit about social justice. They're a vocal minority of whiny little bitches, and we don't give a shit. All we care about is a good game.
I know.
They want to pander. They know better. They know what game, and that was the importance of Gamergate, was to show these game devs that the SJWs are nothing.
Yeah, but there's some indie developers that do not like us that well, and
they're indie developers. JT, listen,
Mhm.
they're indie developers. They're nothing to be afraid of, and I've said this so many times. They're indie developers. They're not.
I agree. I
game
agree. They're
developers.
not.
Real, no, I'm saying they're not real game developers. They're indie devs.
That's fine, man. But I know that a lot of the indie devs out there that want to get into the industry and try to, put out a game that people would possibly like, and they put their work into it. And in respects to some of them, I appreciate that you guys are doing it, but at the same time, don't shit on people like that. That's wrong. Because that's bad PR for you. And I'm just saying this to out there, to every game developer out there that wants to be known and respected. Be nice. That's all they're asking you to do, is be nice to people. And right now, a lot of people are upset with Sega for a lot of good reasons, because they've been releasing a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog games, depending on them to work in the market, because a lot of people like Sonic. Please, whatever you do, Sega, just do something else. Like,
So
I don't know.
where did you get Phantasy Star? I've been looking for it. Where do you get it from?
From what I understand, you can. There's an English translation patch. You just have to search up in an engine and say Phantasy Star Online 2 English patch. And
That's not what I was looking for. I was looking
and then
for the games.
and then you look up the instructions online, and they'll tell you how you can get it online.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't have that much anymore to say about Phantasy Star Online.
a lot of people are resorting to getting an English patch for it so they can play the Japanese server, and just because they don't give a shit about this whole situation with Sega, because they just want to play that game, and a lot of people play that game. But the thing is, Sega made some really poor decisions in this case, and I wish they would
What
do
did they
better
do this
next time. They
Add a blue screen.
yeah, you remember they released so many freaking Sonic games, and a lot of them had issues.
Oh, God.
And it was like they basically told everyone, we got to go fast. We're going to release this game faster. And it's like, I honestly do like Sonic the Hedgehog sometimes, but when you overplay him and try to milk him to death, that it gets to the point where people just stop caring, and they want to play another a different type of Sonic, a different type of Sega game. Like, I don't know, maybe Virtual
What's so
Fighter.
funny about the thing? Kotaku has a how to play Phantasy Star Online thing in English.
Yeah,
That's
They
how
do.
they did it. I mean, the fact that they did it, it's
They-
funny as hell.
yeah, because they wanted to play it, and a lot of people wanted to play this game because there's a lot of nostalgia factor going in, and Sega does not want to release in the U.S. because it's a risk of money issues that they have. And they have a lot of money. The problem is they just choose not to spend a lot of money just to put it into the U.S. Because if they would have known that this game had some popularity among Dreamcast users, they would have known. But then again, they choose not to know because they don't honestly care about it. And their biggest mistake was marketing Sonic the Hedgehog because they put all their eggs in a basket with Sonic Boom, and God knows people hated what Sonic Boom did. You know this to be true, right, Mitch? You know
Sonic
this.
Boom is is shit.
because they honestly tried so hard to make Sonic Boom the best cartoon ever and game, and they were wrong. They even tried to do this with Virtual Fighter, and guess what Virtual Fighter did? They flat out tried to market it as a tournament game type of game, and that didn't work out for them, didn't it, Sega?
Oh, Sonic Boom looks like the worst thing in history.
I know, and they should bring back some of their old. If they're gonna try to milk everything, they should just bring back. I don't know, I told Sega this. Bring back Eternal Champions, please, or some other title that you feel that could actually make you money. But unfortunately, they didn't want to.
I like Sonic 1.
Yeah, and they capitalized on Sonic 1 back then and right now, from what I heard, they tried to release it on the Wii U. They re-released it on the Wii U for Sonic 1. And
What, an HD remake?
no, they actually, I think they put it on PC as well with the Sega collection.
You know what? I gotta give Kotaku one credit here for this one. Is they know they actually did. They're actually giving a good tutorial.
Yeah. And it's like there's several tutorials online that explain this, how to get the Sega to to give you an online pass to get it. You have to get an account in Japan, right?
I'm trying to right now.
Yeah.
You're trying to do it right now?
Yeah, he's trying to play the Phantasy Star Online too.
My friends play that.
Control C. I'm gonna look. I have translate up as well.
Yeah, my friend had to do that as well.
Yeah, I honestly wish.
Have Google Translate up, just running side by side. Please check terms of use.
Yeah. And it's sad that Sega made some terrible PR mistakes with this game.
Yeah.
Tried to convince.
They're notorious for making PR mistakes.
I know, but the funny thing is, they pissed off their own countrymen to do it.
They piss off everyone.
I know,
Because Japanese don't give a shit.
yeah.
I'd say, oh, I found it now. I had to click terms of service. There we go.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that they did wrong.
We sent you an email. Oh, okay. GM. Okay, go to Gmail. I always wondered, because we all use Gmail. I mean, I use it all the time.
I don't.
I prefer Gmail because it's so easy to use.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, they're because from what I heard about this controversy with the Yamato controversy over the ship being the raid boss, and the captain of the ship being the raid boss of this game, a lot of Japanese are very upset about this, and it's like, wow, no surprise there. You're using a Japanese ship to represent the. Go, yeah, Japan. Fuck yeah, we're gonna
I
destroy
feel like
this.
Sega are coming to the end of their life.
It could
like-
be.
Like the way they carry on, like the way they fuck their customers over, like it's getting closer and closer to the point where people are just literally like their sales are dropping, and it just feels like they're dying, you know.
You know what? I wish there was some times where I had Michael Jordan with me so he could tell me what the hell is going on.
Yeah, yeah, because it's kind of crazy how they try to do a historical ship and using it as a raid boss to the Japanese. Great idea. That's like having Obama as president to being the raid boss of World of Warcraft.
Be careful.
I would see people opening up to that idea.
Yeah, let's make the raid boss Obama.
Leroy Jenkins.
All right, guys, we're gonna go in there and destroy Obama.
We got a 33.3% recurring rate of success.
I know, and they really want to try to make this into an issue because a lot of Japanese, but they're accusing people of national pride over the Yamamoto thing, and it's like, look, I don't care. It's a Japanese thing, and it's kind of funny how they get upset about the Yamamoto being used as a raid boss, and I understand the reason. In respect to the Japanese, I I don't know what Sega's doing, but they definitely need to fire somebody for doing this.
Could you imagine if the final boss was Kim Jong Un?
Oh, you know, Kim Jong-un's, let me tell you something. Kim Jong-un's already an enemy in a video game, so I'll be surprised.
I saw the weirdest game, dude. It's like I don't know if you've heard it. It's got Gabe Newell in it. It's on Steam, and it's got like the Illuminati and shit. And you play as Gabe Newell, and you're trying to release Half-Life 3, and the Illuminati. There's like fucking whole lot of random shit. It's the craziest game I've ever seen.
Okay, you know what? You know what the hardest. I don't want newsletters from Sega. Shut up. Oh God, here's the tough one. Oh my God. Oh, I'm trying.
Genesis 128, the new console.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and what are your final thoughts about this Yamamoto controversy? Sorry.
Sega just idiots. They just need to learn.
Yeah, and I think they should really fire the people who did this in Japan, not in the U.S. Japan. Do not fire anybody in the U.S. because they weren't responsible for this shit.
I don't think Sega will ever learn. I think that's one of the biggest issues with Sega is they will not learn. They do not learn from mistakes. They just continue until they basically are nothing.
Yeah, and I do agree. So,
Okay, there it is.
So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and begin another topic, which is the Pokemon.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, Pokemon Go, which is being tested in Australia and New Zealand.
Why can't we test it?
I don't know. Maybe because they don't have the servers or anything like that for it.
Oh yeah, did you see? I managed to sign up for getting Katana, the Katana beta. You know Katana, right?
Yeah.
On Android, right? But the thing is, I can sign up for the beta, and it says I'm on googleplus.co.uk, right?
Yeah.
Then when I go to try and download it, it says you have to be in the US.
What?
It's only for US.
Only for the
Yeah,
US.
it allows me to sign up for the beta, even though I'm in the UK, right?
Yeah.
I'm on the UK Google Plus website.
But you had to be in the US.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Why put that as an option if I'm not allowed? I don't understand this logic.
I don't know, but I think it's kind of crazy. And kind of stupid at the same time.
It kind of reminds me of, we had the Olympics in the UK, right?
Yeah.
In 2012, right? Quite a few of the videos during the Olympics, it said not available in your country when I try to watch them. When I was in 2012.
Because they uploaded them on U.S. servers, and they possibly wanted to censor them in other countries because they
No, but I'm living in England, and it's like we had the Olympics here, and like during that time, YouTube they upload the videos. So I'm like, I'm trying to watch the YouTube video from the Olympics, and it's like not available in your country. What?
I know, and it's kind of silly, but I don't know why they would want to put Pokemon Go in Australia as the testing ground and New Zealand as the testing ground.
Well, think about it. Australia's got a lot of animals.
That's true. But what about Africa? Why can't they put it in Africa?
I used to live in South Africa. I guess they could have done it in South Africa, but
Yeah, it would have been funny. And they wouldn't put it in Brazil or the
Oh my
Amazon.
god.
Yeah, God knows that would be interesting to see kids trying to go to the Amazon, trying to capture
The
some.
Amazon rainforest.
Yes, the actual Amazon rainforest where
Can you imagine that shit? Just
you
like
have to-
row your boat, gently catching Pokemon.
yes, gently catching Pokemon while being bitten by snakes and
Yeah.
and mosquitoes. Yeah. Great idea, Nintendo. Let's explore the vast area of Pokemon world Go and just see how we can capture a rare Pokemon species in a jungle or in the redwoods of
To be
California.
fair to Australia, some of the places in Australia, there's some parts that don't have that many animals.
Yeah, there's desert.
But yeah, but I'm just making jokes about it. No one take offense in Australia.
Yeah, but imagine kids going to the volcanic areas of Hawaii to get yes, just to capture a fire type Pokemon in that area.
Or the is it the Icelandic volcano?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really active in terms of like it has like a little bit of like smoke come out of it, but it's not really as active as it just releases gases really.
yeah.
It doesn't really do anything other than that, just releases gases. Kind of annoying really. Cancels flights. No one can see where the fuck they are in.
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing Pokemon Go in an aeroplane?
Yeah, and of course, well, I can imagine kids like playing on their phone, like because God knows they love them Pokemons and trying to capture a Pikachu on the flight, and then the air marshal sees this and is like, you can
Can you
imagine.
imagine kindergarten playground?
Yeah, I choose you, Pikachu. I'm gonna fight you, bitch. Fight me. Like they're gonna take that shit seriously. I challenge you to a Pokemon match, and the teachers will be like, no fighting with Pokemon in the
I
school
remember
grounds.
as a kid, I used to play like marbles and like Yu-Gi-Oh
Hopscotch
cards. Yeah,
and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, I used to remember that
yeah.
too.
I've played the marble game and the Yu-Gi-Oh and fucking
And the
all these.
Pokemons.
I never really played Pokemon really.
You never did? I did.
Nah. Pokemon cards were.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of Yu-Gi-Oh, but it was pretty much like any other game that you play, any other card game you played when you were a kid. But you know what? It didn't really matter. A lot of people, you can imagine, a lot of people want to play this game, but it's a shame that they're. I can understand why they're doing this, making Australia and New Zealand the testing ground for this, but how will this work? That's the question.
I don't know.
I'm just like amazed. Like I'm waiting for the day till this game comes out because I just want to fuck around with it. Because like they say it can be outside. Could you imagine if they made it so you could play it inside? How ironic would that be?
Yeah, just to capture Pokemon inside or outside.
I'm inside my bedroom playing Pokemon while catching Pokemon on this video game and catching Pokemon on my phone as well.
I'm gonna capture Pokemon at an anime convention in the middle of nowhere.
the Sahara Desert catching Nuzlocke.
Or in
That's
the Valley of Death. Death Valley.
Area 51.
Well, I have to get going. I'll see you guys later.
You too, man. Take care, man.
Have fun, Leon.
Yeah, take care, Leo. Thank you for coming. But
can you imagine if you're MP and you're just like in the House of Lords, fine.
Castle Lords. That's funny. Yes, and imagine me going to Pokemon Go and at Niagara Falls in the water with a waterproof phone, which I hear galaxies are actually doing that too. And I have to capture a water Pokemon. I don't know what type of Pokemon it would be, but it would be a good one.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine like fucking people? You know, like the people that in the space station right now play Pokemon in space.
On the space station playing Pokemon Go. I can imagine that. Like they're trying to capture a space Pokemon. Because God knows the space Pokemon are very, very, very
Playing. I'm gonna if Pokemon Go becomes available in any ridiculous place, like imagine like I would go to South Africa to one of the mud huts, like in Limpopo, just like fucking.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for making fun of the whole Pokemon thing, but I believe that it would be a very interesting app to have. For those who want to test it in Australia and New Zealand, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you enjoy it. It is going to be released in Australia, and it's going to be released in New Zealand as a testing, because you will be receiving the beta test of it. I suggest you go and look it up if you live in Australia or New Zealand, and play and enjoy yourself as while you travel around. Yeah, while you're around trying to hunt for the rarest Pokemon you can ever catch down there, make sure you avoid the water at all costs if you're going to go, and also snakes.
And make sure to put a shrimp on the Barbie.
And also avoid any other like dingoes and such if you're trying to travel all the way around the Pokemon to capture them all. I wish you all good luck and Godspeed, because this game is going to be one of the best games ever made on an app phone.
I'd like to go back to South Africa and play Pokemon Go. Just fucking, can you imagine?
Yes, because you'll be capturing them all.
You imagine just playing fucking like. Can you imagine Jacob Zuma, President of South Africa, playing Pokemon Go? Can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine that.
He's like, this Pokemon Go game is so racist.
He's gonna try to accuse everybody about it too.
He's gonna be like, this Pokemon Go game is the most racist thing I've ever seen. It is disgraceful.
I know.
And being racist towards black people.
I know, and the sad part is that the issue that I see right now is that there's been a lot of problems. It's possible the reason why they're testing in Australia is because it is a huge, big environment down there with a lot of. Because especially in New Zealand, they have like they filmed Lord of the Rings in that area.
Yeah.
Because they had a vast like woodland, camping grounds and everything. It was very beautiful. And
I think the reason they're doing it in New Zealand and Australia is simply because most of I think they're trying to get sort of like some new info, because what I've noticed is quite a few of these sort of apps and stuff have been done in the United States and these sort of countries. So
okay.
And United Kingdom sometimes. So I think maybe they're just trying to go from a different angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Get some information from like two countries that don't typically get, the beta test.
Or, well, they do beta test a lot of games.
No, like majority apps that I've been interested in, I've noticed like usually United Kingdom
or
United States mostly.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess they're trying to see that other countries that could actually handle this in other, which never.
And Australia is a pretty cool country. It's pretty beautiful, so it's a good place to test it out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. But okay, what are your final thoughts about this game?
I just hope that they had some ridiculous things to it because I just want to go ridiculous with it. I also hope it's not too big because I have a very shit phone in terms of storage.
Yeah.
Like my storage right now, I've got about 400 megabytes left.
Yeah.
It's very shit. And
Very
people say,
crap.
"Oh, why don't you download it onto your SD card?" The thing is, Google Play doesn't allow me to do that.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about Google Play. It's like you can't
They
update
used to allow you to do that, but then they changed it because their excuse is piracy.
piracy.
Yeah, that's their
What?
excuse. That's their excuse. They're saying people are copying it over to copying games over to other, copying onto the SD card and then give it to their friend, copying onto other
Oh,
SD
yeah,
card.
because of piracy excuse. It's always been
Yeah,
the piracy
which is a
excuse.
really bullshit excuse because someone paid for this game, right?
Yeah,
They should be able to put it on their SD, download it to their SD card. They shouldn't have to like fucking
I
download it to
agree.
their internal storage and fucking move it.
I agree because
My
Google
phone.
Play is like this is why I avoid Android. I usually just go with an Apple, and as much as I
I
like,
mean, my phone isn't really the average, like it's not really like most people who buy Android phones have way better like Android phones in terms of internal storage compared to mine. My internal storage is 4 gigabytes, but when you actually get the phone and all the updates come up and shit, right?
yeah,
You're gonna be left with about 500 megabytes
yeah,
because like over 2 gigs of it is taken up by a load of fucking updates.
that's true.
So like
But
it is literally it is a major problem when it comes to phones that are very low end. I have the Sony Xperia E1.
yeah,
So even though I've got like a 16 gig SD card, I can't download a game that is like 1 gig or
yeah.
600 megabytes or 500 megabytes.
I kind of agree with you on that. But anyways, guys, you can add me on as Hero for Nuts on Twitter. With me is Mitch. You can tell them your Twitter if you want to
23 PIZ 23 MITCH.
on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Yeah.